Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading-solutions.com on a Friday. This is the 10th of January. Bit of sell-off here. Let's get right into the charts. Again, subscribe to the newsletter. Give me a thumbs up. I've been talking about rates. I've written about it in the newsletter. The trigger, today's hotter than expected jobs number obviously created a sell-off. Let's get right into the charts here and talk about where we are relative to, putting things in perspective real quick here. If you take a look at the S&P, it's gone nowhere. We're at the lower end of the trading range. It looks dramatic today because we were down 90 on the S&P, but where are we relative to the longer term charts? We're basically right where we were in early December, mid-December, late December. Here we are right there. Okay, so we're sitting at 58.65, which again, if you see this line here, you can see we're basically there. We didn't really break down. We are essentially at the bottom end of the range. Whether this continues, I do suspect we're going to have one big washout, maybe a low down, even down to here at some point. We could get a reflex rally on Monday, just kind of a dead cat type of bounce into these levels here. But overall, similar with the NASDAQ. In fact, the NASDAQ is also sitting right where we were, kind of a false break. You can maybe call this a false break. Looks like it was going to break down. We came right back. Apple's rallying as well. Apple and some of these mega caps are picking up a little bit of bid going into the close. So overall, we're just at the bottom part of the range. No follow through. I think we do probably end up somewhere down in here before this correction's over. Not seeing any sign of that yet. Bitcoin continuing to hold at 91,600. Also solid support here. I think this is going to be the canary in the coal mine if that breaks down. And rates peaking here. Now that everybody's talking about interest rates, we could be probably peaking here at 475. This is based on a few things. We're sitting at supply in the yields market, TLT at demand. TLT is a massive gap here. You got some other bond proxies that we're looking at our group here to go long next week. We got CPI on Wednesday. That could be the final trigger here. If we get a big hot number, that could just maybe that's what gets us that big sell-off that I'm kind of looking for. And then the dollar similarly did not get any kind of follow through yet, but we'll see. Everything else really just silver, gold, just chopping around in here. Silver was up earlier, so was gold, and they kind of gave it up a little bit here. It looks like gold is probably going to also try to test the old highs. Oil did pull back, and I've been kind of bullish on oil here. So you can see that did have a pullback as well here, right there. So we got to pull back, maybe down into these areas here. Could be a good buy in oil. Nat gas was the mover again today. Still hasn't broken above 420. It was very choppy, but still kind of grinding higher. And then we had a grain ag report today, which did get a little bit of a pop in the soybean market. There are some supply levels coming up here in soybeans, or right up here at like 1050. Also corn. So the grain report did create some volatility in the grain markets. That's also interesting. Corn may be setting up for a breakout here. And then on the overall stocks, you had Apple coming down to demand, broke below the 135. We did come down to some demand. It's kind of spotty here. We had a nice bounce, and they're actually bouncing this pretty hard into the close here. Any levels up here are going to be really nice supply zones for Apple, and obviously this is driving the rebound in the stocks as well. And then Nvidia also holding at 135. So These stocks are just churning here. There's just nothing big. So even though, and then Tesla, interesting, was actually unchanged on the day. So I don't think this is nothing new. It just continues to churn. I wouldn't get all hyped up about, maybe. I do believe we need one big washout still in order for this to bottom out and have a meaningful correction, or we just kind of continue in this massive range. So that's the way you want to play this right now. Okay. All right. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week as we go into the CPI and then closer to Jan 20, which is going to be another probably Jan 21, the day when Trump takes over, is going to be really interesting. All right. Have a great weekend. Take care.